Graham Linehan, or Glinner, as he's known on Twitter and infamously throughout the internet now, he was a television writer. He was just like a comedy writer on a couple of shows like The IT Crowd and Father Ted. And I mean, he kind of could have just had a normal career. He could have just been a normal person. But then he's British and kind of got swept up in this whole TERF gender critical thing that's been happening over there. And like, that's kind of the thing that he's most famous for now, because I think he has a hard time finding work. Frankly, like, no one would want to work with him because he spends his entire very public internet presence just constantly crapping on trans people and generally being deeply embarrassing. He also very publicly was divorced. Like, his wife divorced him and took the kids because of his gender critical beliefs and his participation in that crowd, like just constantly hating on trans people. His wife was like, bye. So Glinner has joined the ranks of extremely divorced individuals and continues to just complain about trans people. Yeah, he blamed trans people for his divorce as though trans people ruined his divorce instead of his very bigoted behavior. And the fact that his wife might have been able to tolerate it if he had a private transphobic belief. Like, if he was talking about it at home privately, maybe she could have been like, well, whatever, it doesn't make a difference anyway. You're married to me, a cis woman, so why would it matter if you hate trans women? But like, for him to make it the entire thing that he's talking about publicly, his name is synonymous with, he's, I think, the most prominent TERF who's male. Most TERFs we think of, okay, yeah, J.K. Rowling, Helen Joyce, all these people, as far as in Britain. But yeah, Glinner is like the most famous gender critical man. And gender critical in this context, for those of you who don't know, TERF means trans exclusionary radical feminist. That's what these anti-trans feminist women, quote unquote, that's what they were calling themselves before people caught on to the fact that they're just hateful. So we started calling them TERFs as a derogatory thing after they called themselves that. But because they recognized that, like, they basically realized that the name TERFs has bad PR, like it's bad rep. So they started calling themselves gender critical, and they're actually thinking about shifting it again to something else because they're like, oh, gender critical, doesn't exactly whatever, blah, blah. Like, they're just recognizing that the name that they call themselves gets tainted and poisoned by the fact that they are disgusting, annoying, mean. If you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, maybe subscribe, hit all notifications if you want. Feel free to check out the links in the description. You might find some merch you like, or you can hit up the Patreon to support the content and find free stuff. Bigoted people, yeah, they get mad that we're calling them the thing that they named themselves, basically. So gender critical is just the nicer way that they've tried to rebrand themselves as, oh, we're just critical of your gender ideology stuff. Holy cow, we've been meandering to get to the funny part. Are you ready for the funny part? The funny part is that Glinner, who is, again, one of the most famous male transphobes, TERFs of, I guess he's not a TERF. I don't know if he counts himself as a feminist. He's gender critical. Well, Callan Conrad, who's a very cool fellow YouTuber and Twitter shitposter, asked recently, what are some of the most divorced things that Glinner has ever done, given that he's intensely divorced? This trans woman responds, he signed up to my OnlyFans only to delete it a couple hours later after he realized I could see his username and that he had just outed himself as an alleged chaser. So this, I don't know if you can see it because it's very tiny, even on my screen, and I can't really make it bigger. It says, Glinner68 liked your post. Glinner68 liked your post. Like a bunch of notifications. First of all, why would you name your username like your public Twitter handle? Your porn consumption account maybe should have a different handle. I never said that he was a smart person though. And then it shows the same notifications page, all these notifications back to back, but like later that day, deleted user liked your post, deleted user liked your post. He deleted his whole account. He deleted his whole OnlyFans account because he realized that he posted like his name, and I say his nickname on the account and outed himself as a chaser. So once again, transphobes outing themselves as chasers. Like, oh, it's that thing that sex workers say where it's like, you're pointing with one hand and your dick is in your other hand. Like, there's all this accusation and, oh, what you're doing is bad or wrong, but they've got their dick in their hand, Alex Jones also used to shit on trans women, and then he showed like tabs on his phone and one of them was trans girl porn. Like, it's so predictable, but it's also really just tiring and sad. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Subscribed, or I guess I don't know if he paid money to this OnlyFans or if he just joined as like a follower, but he was giving attention to a trans woman's sex work content. Why are so many men in particular like this? I don't know. So I don't know that there's a lot more of a point to be made here. There's not really a point to be made. It's just they'll condemn you at the same time that they're jerking off to you. They will vote against your rights and speak out against you while also fetishizing you, essentially. And it's like, how much of that is just self-hatred that you're projecting? It's like, why do you have such an issue with being attracted to trans women? It's fine. Just be attracted to trans women. And you don't have to be weird about it. Like, oh, they're not real women. They're stealing opportunities from real women. Real women have large gametes. Like, creepy objectifying behavior. Being ashamed of sexual tastes is a pretty big theme in bigotry, TBH. Fair enough. It's not like this is necessarily new. The Catholic priest who gets caught doing gay sex kind of thing. Like, yeah, I'm stealing the opportunity of a real woman to be yanked to by Glinner. Wanked to. Oh my God, I can't talk. You're creating a hostile work environment for cisgender sex workers. Anyway, Godspeed, Glinner. Go on to your alt account that you didn't put your real username in and go out there and support some girlies getting their HRT and surgery. All right? You do it, buddy. Thank you, my patrons, especially Tiago Nascimento, Mersh Rolvog, Amanda B., Michelle Frateroli, Wellington Marcus, Michelle Winter, Danielle McDonald, Suzanne Maynard, DZXN, Spooky Heather Sylvia, Ella V. Nobody, Pasnell Infinity, Jamie Jam, Sojo, Nova, Elizabeth Bartell, Athiet, Kevin Young, Desi Quiche, Celeste, Liam Hodgson, and Mr. Atheist.